Hello my friends, welcome to Instant Electronic channel. This is Uncle Misha, and today we are going again address issues with this guy. So as you know, in my previous video, this player actually works. The only problem is this switch. So in order to repair this guy, we would have to open it up, try to remove the board over here and try to clean up this switch, and maybe also clean up some other switches just in case. So for that I would have to open it. Just one screw right here, I left it just one, and that's it. So I did some research about those little chippies over here, and here we are, what they are. Alright guys, I've done a little bit more digging in this area to figure out what is what. Turned out to be all goodies are on another side. So we do have here this main ASIC, which actually controls pretty much, system control chip, just to actually control everything. Over here we have digital analog, a DAAD converter from Texas Instrument on other side of the board. This guy, it's actually essentially just some sort of front end. I'm not sure what it does, probably controls switching and things like that, different inputs. These two guys, one is a buffer, another is multiplexer, which actually switches those two inputs. So yeah, this is what we do have. I'm not sure if I want to actually pull this board out, because my goal is actually fix this board. So probably, unless during my fixing of this board I would have to actually really pull this board out. That's what I got. Another interesting thing which I discovered, that over here in Japanese version you can have two optical outputs. Over here we have only one. So in this chip, which actually is supposed to switch between them, essentially just does really nothing per se. Also, I'm not sure what this connector is right here, but also some of the versions have a coaxial input. As you see, there is no actual footprint for coaxial input right here, so I'm not sure if this all just has the coaxial input. Potentially this might be it, maybe I'm mistaken, because a coaxial input has actually missing some, requires some also capacitors and the resistor. So this could be it, but maybe for coaxial input layout is could be completely different. So anyway, so this is something to keep in mind, that there are different versions of the same board. Even the main ASIC could have a different version with different amount of memory. So this, for example, has on 2 seconds, I think, of time machine, and the different version of ASIC has 6 megabit of memory, and essentially turned out to be at about 6-second time machine. So this is all I gather. So inside this drive there is another quite heavily integrated board, which actually contains main ASIC and decoder, which decodes the A track. Maybe that guy contains all the memory, not this guy. This is like a system control chip, controls inputs and all those settings here at the front and things like that. The main decoder ASIC is in here, right here. So unless, I'm not sure if I need to pull it out in order to take this out, so we may see it or may not. So well, enough talking, let's try to dig in. So if you want to dig in, there are a few screws I have to unscrew. Two over here. Actually quite a bit of screws. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm not really sure how to unscrew this, so I'm gonna try unscrewing everything I see. So there are a few screws right in this area and a few screws in this area. I'll do it off camera. Okay, it turned out to be I was attacking it on the wrong angle. So here there was a bunch of screws, and also I removed some feet right here first. So now looks like it's going. I'm not sure where it's going. Let's see. Okay, looks like the whole front panel is dislodging. Now it's stuck for some reason. Mm-hmm. I do not see. Okay, looks like this holding it, I think. Let's free this guy. Yes, and yes. Okay, that was relatively easy. Just wondering, is it safe to disconnect this connector? Yes, it is safe, just like this. I may leave these guys. Okay, here we are. Oh, there is another chippy right here. It's probably some another kind of controller. Hope I'll be able to also fix this front bezel. Just push it back in or something, I don't know. It's weird. Okay, whatever, not gonna bother. Okay, let's try to... There's a whole bunch of self-toppers right here, which I would have to unscrew. Oh wow, that's a lot of them. Probably these have to be removed. This is kind of conical, it's very hard to grab and remove. This one was easy, this one I cannot. Let me think about. So here's a little trick for you. So if you cannot remove something like that, wrap it in several loops of tightly of electrical tape and try to pull it. And let's see if I scratched it. Hope I didn't. looking good. That's the trick. Okay, now we probably can remove this board safely. Ta-da! Okay, here we are. This is two different kind of switches. Here we are. This is how the front end panel look like. This is this is cool. Obviously this is infrared LED. Here is a bunch of buttons. Here is switching transistors and things like that. Capacitors, LED, buttons. So I will clean up all of these guys with a contact cleaner. So here is my favorite contact cleaner. I'm gonna apply it. Maybe even remove this. Oh yeah, that's just pretty simple switch. Wow, it's a lot. Okay, now when switches were cleaned up, probably it's time to put it all back together. But before I put it all together, you're gonna definitely test it. Also, you're gonna clean up all dust right here. This is easy. Right, so I don't even need to kind of put the any sort of disc in there. Okay, this LED is on. Now, where is the freaking button? I think this one. So it says standby. Actually, it's much more nicely looking down through this window, through this like purplish kind of glass. Yeah, look, nice and clean. Weird, unless this glass was actually dirty from inside because I cleaned it up as well. All right, so let's power this up. So it says no disk. All right, so let's try to switch input. Looking good. And also I switched this one, stereo mono stereo, cleaned up this potentiometers and this switch as well using the contact cleaner. So okay, well, it's a good possibility to actually assemble everything together. I'm gonna shut it down, disconnect the wire and assemble it. I will quickly assemble without shooting all this. It's just as easy as putting this board back in here, screwing everything on, and Bob's your uncle. Okay, let's do it. So I was able to assemble everything together and secure it to back to the frame. I didn't screw it in, so I have to turn it upside down like this nicely and secure all these screws right here. It's one of them here has some sort of grounding, and I think that's the ones, for as I remember. It's a little bolt, it's not actually technically a screw. Yeah, that's from here. So this has a thread, it's M3. Everything else are those self-toppers. So the self-toppers go in here. It's like a long one. I'm not sure where this came from. Oh, it's probably, yeah, those are long ones from here. It's another self-topper here, another self-topper right here. Looks like this one is broken, by the way, here. So it's one of those kind of PCB standoffs. It's secure. And this guy. Right, let's put those guys back. Technically I shouldn't actually take them apart because this can be, I think it can be pulled off without taking these guys apart, but removing them, but whatever. It was easier. There is another possibility to have one on this side. Interesting. Ah, that's because I can swap them. Okay. Yeah. That's tight. It's good. Now let's. All right. So technically, this is all assembled except this ribbon cable. It just goes back in here where it's supposed to be. Like this, and this sort of cable just like that. That's pretty much it. Those two, this one is very easy to take off, and this one is hard, so I'm gonna put it just lightly, lightly. Right, okay, sure. So now we can try it again before we actually put the cover back on, just to see if I assemble everything properly. Stand by, power on. Let's see if that doesn't really matter. Okay, well, let me grab a disc and we'll try to put disc in to make sure a mechanism is working, and if it's good, okay, we will continue putting everything together and testing it. So it is powered on. Let's grab a disc, the empty one, if you remember from my previous video, and just shove it in. That worked. Table of content reading, blank disc. That's fine, that's working. Let's check. Okay, now let me grab something else. You know what? No, I'm not gonna actually play any of those right now. So what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna record. So let me record something. Oh, so I couldn't find any digital outputting device. So I do not have in-house any a CD player or DVD player or any other player which actually has a Toslink output that I would be able to connect to this over here to Toslink input. So what I decided to do, use just RCA cable connected to my phone and use analog right here, analog input. So we're gonna record through analog. I know this is not ideal, but at least we're gonna check the recording possibility. So over here on this switch, I'm gonna switch from, well, I read now digital, right? I just switched it back. Now I'm gonna switch it to analog in. I'm gonna do analog in, then I'm gonna shove this. I never actually recorded this, so I have no idea how it's gonna fly. Oops, wrong. Put this disc in. I'm gonna read table of content. Blank disc. Then actually I'm not sure what's the procedure. Should I just, I don't know. I'm not sure how was the sequence here. Let me open my okay, so I also have this recorded YouTube soundtrack. So record level I'm gonna put in the middle. Okay, or maybe a little bit more. And let me just, I don't know. Okay, pause rack. Okay, I just the music. Okay, it does play. It does record. I'm not sure why it's created track number 1 and track number 2 right here. Let's see, it's recording. I even can adjust the level here. So here's the cell phone view. So I'm using my cell phone actually to record a video of this thing recording. It actually produces some crazy noises, but it is recording. Focus. The disc produces, I don't know, is it disc or the head itself produces some like noises, but so far so good. It does the job. So recording 1 minute 16 seconds. I'm not sure if I have to continue, but I think that's good enough. Okay, as I show you, it was recording, and here you can, through these headphones connected over here, you can actually monitor and adjust your levels or adjust, for example, volume, playback volume on the phone. And here we are, and here's some music here playing. Okay, that's pretty cool. So let's stop it. And let's play track number 2. And here we are. Here is how a recorded analog digitized sound sounds like. The only downside of this device is that it does not have computer connectivity. So everything you have to do is you have to record through digital, in this case optical digital in, or record it somewhere, for example on any of NetMD device, and just and then just play here. Not sure what's if this if you compare, for example, playback capabilities like signal to noise ratio and total harmonic distortions of regular the teeny tiny NetMD player with this device, I don't know which one gonna be better, but there's a possibility that you can cram a little bit better quality components and discrete components into this. So even if I'm planning to still get the tiny one, preferably NetMDs, that I would be able to actually transfer music from the computer to the disk without all this optical in shenanigans. And also the main thing is to edit table of content, because it's possible to do here, by the way, but it's like you have to do one character at a time, then use this, for example, to pick to pick a character. Actually it does forward and back, but to pick a character, then enter and again scroll again, pick next character. It's gonna be forever, but better to use your computer. So guys, I think it's good, it's awesome, it's working, I love it. So I have to put it back together and figure out how can I test it through the digital, just to make sure digital is working. But probably this is gonna be it for this video. I think we have a successful repair and restoration. I've done as much as I could. If I find a broken one but with the good front panel, I'm gonna use it. I saw actually black model of this. It's actually would be much nicer to have black model. First of all, you're not gonna see any cracks and scratches. Second, it just looked nicer, but it is working. That's the main thing. So thank you guys for watching, and see you next time. Ciao, stay safe.